in a class where there was a lot of really good rookie wide receivers. He has kind of rise to the top and looks like one of the best. All right, so we are going through the 2024 draft class for the Jacksonville Jaguars after just one season in the NFL. This is not a complete picture of their draft by any means, but it's good to kind of know how good this draft was. Where does it look? What are we thinking? Let's go ahead and get right into it. Looking at the entire draft class as a whole, I think the one name that all fans are probably in love with by now is Brian Thomas Jr. out of LSU, one of the best rookie wide receivers in the class, and I mean, he has just been absolutely awesome. I think you look at the stats, and I'm recording this before the final game of the season, but he's top 5 in receiving yards total. He's been an absolute baller all season, top 5 in touchdowns. He's crushing it, and he's doing this with a Mac Jones in the past couple weeks, at the very least, that's throwing him the football, which that's not to be an insult by any means. Mac Jones is a really high-quality backup, certainly. But, look, that is probably, at the end of the day, the long and short of how good this draft class is. You nailed a wide receiver in the 20s who's probably going to be the vocal point of your offense for the next 5 to 7 years. Like, that's probably how good this dude is. Like, superstar, all-pro, future Hall type of guy if he does what he did this year, and if he grows from this season to future seasons. I'm saying like that's the potential. That's what we have here. Knocked it out of the park. Amazing. Now, with that said, the rest of the class does not live up to really anything close to that type of potential, but we're going to go through it. Before we do, I do want to look at the trade. And look, the Jaguars nailed this trade. Obviously, they got the far and away better player, at least at this point, while also trading down, got 2 picks for the 2025 draft class. I'm such a draft nerd, so when I see stuff like this, I'm always blown away, because you got the steal of the first round, probably, as far as like where he went and how good he's been, and also on top of it you got 2 future picks in future drafts. That's awesome. I mean, 2 valuable picks, a 3rd and 4th round pick. That's not nothing. Moving on to the next LSU product that the Jaguars drafted in the 2nd round, Mason Smith. This is a guy who had a really, really slow start, and if we look at his ranking compared to other rookie defensive tackles, it's really not comparable. He's having a rough time according to PFF rankings and all that. But if we dig a little bit deeper, you see a guy who's really stacked some great performances near the end of the season, and I think Jaguars fans should be really excited about what to expect from him moving forward. There does seem to be a ton of buzz around Mason Smith right now, and you're seeing a ton of articles showing that he's becoming a force for the Jaguars. So it's not a guy who is super impactful in the meat of the 2024 season, but moving into the 2025 season, I think this is a guy who can rotate in and probably become a starter on that defensive line. Another name that, look, in the 2nd round, you'd love to have production year 1, but again, the 2nd round for a reason. You really want to see production year 2, year 3. So this is not a complete picture of the draft class. This is one of those guys that I put in the bucket of super, super high potential moving forward. And then to close out the day 2 picks, we do have Jaron Jones out of Florida State. I am a Florida State fan, so I was very intrigued to see how he would do. He is fitting into that nickel corner role for the Jaguars, so he's gotten a ton of opportunities. Most recently, he said that the game has started to slow down for him a little bit. I see a guy who could easily, secure that nickel corner spot for years to come for the Jaguars. Usually for these videos, I like to do a deep dive on the day 1 and day 2 picks like I just did, and then I like to look at kind of some of the impact players, quickly talk about some of the names down the rest of the draft class, and I look at it and I'm like, almost nothing. And that's super disappointed, because I mean, you had 2 picks in the 4th, 2 picks in the 5th, and a 6th and 7th round pick. You'd like for 1 or 2 of those guys to be somebody who was able to at least get opportunities, be a big part of the offense, or get worked in, whatever that might have been, however that could have looked. This is a roster that's put together 4 wins, and you got pretty much no production from your day 3 picks in the 2024 draft class. At this point, still early, not writing off any of these names by any means. That's not what the point of this video is. Really solid draft overall. I know I just kind of talked about the day 3 picks. That is what it is. At the end of the day, you're going to be defined by the stars that you bring in. And if we have a Brian Thomas Jr. who legitimately looks like a future superstar in the NFL and has already had, I mean, historic numbers for a rookie wide receiver. We're talking top 5 in receiving yards, top 5 in touchdowns. That's really incredible, right? That's incredible numbers. It should not be understated how good his rookie season has been. In a class where there was a lot of really good rookie wide receivers, he has kind of rise to the top and looks like one of the best, right behind his LSU teammate and neighbors. It's crazy. How did that team not win a Heisman or not win a championship with the Heisman quarterback and 2 superstar wide receivers? Like, what is going on with Brian Kelly and the LSU? Sorry, total side point. I apologize. Back to the video. That is what it is. That's a superstar. That made your draft good. That's great. And then you have 2 guys on day 2 that are looking like they're going to carve out a significant role on the team in future seasons. That's a win. If that is what this draft is, that is a win. It's still early for those guys. We'll obviously see how their careers pan out. But right now, after year 1, I feel like you're seeing a lot of good signs from both of those guys, and I have nothing but high hopes for both of them. All right, guys, that's all I got. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'm going to get out of here quick. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.